a wider stance, mountain pose at the top of your mat. And all 10 toes are still pointing forward and your knees are pointing forward. But see if you can press a bit more through the pinky toe side of your feet and then through the big toe side. So sending your weight out and in and lifting the toes. And then even out your weight, press evenly through the big toe side and the pinky toe side and spread your toes. Press through the toe pads. So the ends of those toes, and then bring your shoulders all the way up by your ears, squeeze them in, and then release them all the way down the back. And do this 2 more times. Really emphasize that lift, squeezing the shoulders in, and slow down the lowering, sending them down the back. And 1 more time, just like that, bring them up. And then release them down. And this time, turn your palms to face forward. Spread your fingers. Find a stretch through your palms between the fingers. And then soften. So don't stretch too much. Keep some softness in those hands. Maybe close your eyes if you're feeling stable here. Taking a breath in. And then taking a long breath out. Maybe out through the mouth. And then again, take a breath in. And out. And let's do 1 more like that. Breath in. And a breath out. And then continue with your breath, but now a little bit more even, not as much effort, just enough so that you stay present with that breath. But always allow for ease and comfort with your breath so that it's not something else that you have to do, but it's something actually that helps your movement, helps your posture, and not only physically, but also mentally. Breathing here, a few more cycles. And if you haven't already, begin to engage a bit more through your legs. Squeeze through your thighs and then squeeze through your glutes. Press a bit more through those feet. And then use your next inhale to reach your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, and then bend your elbows and bring the hands to the back of your head, to the base of your skull. We're going to open up those elbows, lean slightly back if that's comfortable. Stay strong through your legs. Maybe you're looking up towards the ceiling, but feel that stretch through armpits, through chest, through front of your ribs. Breath in and a breath out. Take another inhale and exhale. Now with your next inhale, come back through a neutral spine, reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, right arm down by your side and reach up and over with your left. So your feet are still wide, and give a push through your right thigh, right hand into that right thigh. Find a bit more space in the left side of the body, but keep that body in the same plane. So try not to lean forward or back. And then come back through center on your inhale, reaching your arms tall. And then take it over to the other side as you exhale. Left hand can give that left leg a little push. And notice if you need to bring your left shoulder slightly forward. That if you're rounding, that will be the case. And keep reaching through those right fingers. Take another breath in. And another breath out. Come back through center on the inhale. Interlace your fingers the opposite way. Now turn your palms towards the ceiling. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, release those arms down and behind you. Interlace them at your lower back. So hands are going to be at the lower back for a moment. And then as you inhale, straighten your arms. Open up that chest once again. Squeezing through those shoulder blades. Keep your legs strong. Give a squeeze through the glutes. Breathing in. And a breath out. With your next inhale, release those hands. We're going to reach them forward and we're going to bend into those knees as if you were trying to come down into a squat, but you're not coming as far down. So more or less, your thighs working towards parallel to the ground. Your arms are reaching forward. Your sit bones are reaching back. Stay strong through those feet, pressing down, pinky toe side, maybe a little bit more. Breath in and a breath out. Maybe you lean down a little bit further with your torso. That belly comes a bit closer to your thighs if that's available. Keep sending those sit bones back. Another breath in and another breath out. Now with your next inhale, rising all the way up, press through those feet, reach your arms tall, and as you exhale, lower those hands down by your side. And now heel to toe, your feet back to hip width. And with your next inhale, reach your arms. As you exhale, find a nice bend in those knees and let's fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, neutral spine, draw belly to spine and use these half lifts to lengthen and find space in your lower back. And then as you exhale, fold, dropping the head. And again, inhale, halfway lift, keep a bend in the knees. Exhale, fold. And one more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. We're pausing in this forward fold, holding on to opposite elbows, breath in. And as you exhale, bend into your right knee, straightening the left, getting into that left hamstring. Inhale, right knee straightens, bend into your left, exhale. And again, straighten. Bend into the right, exhale, and straighten, and bend into your left, exhale. Now bend into both knees, rising up this time into your chair pose with your legs hip width. So the regular chair pose, arms up by your ears. And then on your exhale, bring hands to your heart. See if you can sit down just a little further, breath in, and a breath. Now push through those feet, rise all the way up, inhale, left arm down, coming into your side stretch as you exhale. Draw belly to spine, inhale, back through center. Exhale to your other side. Inhale, back through center. As you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back, coming all the way into downward facing dog. Maybe it's your first down dog of the day. So find a little movement through your legs, bending and straightening those knees, maybe lifting and lowering your heels. Remember to push through those hands, sending your sit bones a bit higher. And if you had any movement going, explore now some stillness in your down dog. Breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, let's lift those heels. And as you exhale, lower those knees all the way down to the mat. Coming into your table pose, align those hands under your shoulders. Keep your toes tucked. And then as you inhale, drop the belly, bring the chest forward, lift your gaze. Sit bones are lifting. And then as you exhale, round the spine, untucking those toes as you come into cat pose. Moving back and forth a few more times, tucking toes, inhale, cow. Untucking, exhale, into cat. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And cat pose, exhale. Now you can keep your toes untucked, come into a neutral spine, and then reach your left leg all the way out behind you. We're going to plant the ball of the foot, the heel is pushing back, draw the belly towards your spine, and then walk your hands slightly forward. We're going to go forward and back. Inhale, coming forward, come onto the top of that left foot. Exhale, moving back onto the ball of that left foot. And then again, inhale, come forward. Give the top of the foot a stretch. Exhale and back, the sole of the foot a stretch. And again, forward. And exhale and back. And now come back through center. If you need to align your hands again under shoulders, do so. Left leg is going to rise, breath in. As you exhale, draw that knee into your chest. Find that rounding through your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale again, knee to chest. And inhale, lengthen. And exhale, knee to chest. Hold here. Push the floor away. Take another breath in. See if you can push that back body up a little further. Breath out. And then as you inhale, extend that left leg out. And on your exhale, lower that knee all the way down to the mat. Before we go to the other side, let's find puppy pose. So keep your knees and hips in line. Walk your hands wide and walk them forward. Your chest is coming towards the ground. Maybe your forearms come to the ground. Maybe the head hangs or the forehead rests on the mat. Sit bones are lifting. Chest is broadening. Breath in and breath out. One more. And then returning to your table pose. So slowly walking your hands back in. Find your alignment and let's go onto the right side. Right leg rises. Inhale. And then on your exhale, plant the ball of the foot. Push through that heel. Draw the belly to your spine and then push through your hands. Maybe walk your hands slightly forward, and then we're going forward and back. Inhale over those right toes onto the top of the foot. Give it a push. Exhale onto the ball of the foot. Push through the heel. And then again, inhale, coming forward. Exhale and back. One more time. Notice when you come forward, you're finding a stretch and strengthening through your wrist too. So use your fingers here. And then back onto the ball of that right foot. Realign those hands if needed. And when you're ready, right leg rises. Inhale. As you exhale, knee to chest, we're rounding. Draw that knee in, maybe even to nose. And then extend it out. Breath in. Draw it in. Breath out. One more. And then use your next inhale to extend that leg out. And as you exhale, lower that knee back to the mat, back into your table pose. One more time into puppy pose. Knees and hips in line, hands wide and forward. If it's comfortable, if you want to make it a bit more active, instead of being on the palms of your hands, come onto your fingertips. So your palms are lifted, kind of like tented fingers. And maybe your arms are lifted too, but your chest is dropping towards the ground. Breath in and a breath out. One more. Inhale and exhale. And then once again from here, walk your hands back in. Maybe not as far in as a table pose because we're coming into downward facing dog, tucking your toes and then lifting those knees and hips all the way back and up. Take a moment, breath in. Maybe an open mouth exhale. One more inhale and exhale. With your next inhale, walk those feet towards your hands, coming towards the top of the mat and finding a forward fold as you exhale. And once again, bring your feet wider, so shoulder width or so. And then with your next inhale, hands to your shins, halfway lift. Think about pressing through the pinky toe side of your feet. And then as you exhale, fold. And two more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw belly to spine, lengthen forward, exhale, fold. And last one, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Now we're coming into that kind of squat chair position. So knees, feet stay as they are, the knees are bent, and then we're going to bend into those knees and reach those arms forward. So knees stay wide, I meant. So they're going out, you're pressing through your pinky toe side and you're reaching forward. Think about those thighs maybe coming towards parallel to the ground, your sit bones reaching back, crown of the head and fingers forward. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Now with your next inhale, press through those feet, slowly rise up, arms overhead. And as you exhale, right hand by your side, reaching up and over, side stretch. Feet are still wide, come back through center, inhale, and take it to the other side as you exhale. Inhale back through center, interlace those hands overhead and turn your palms towards the ceiling, breathing in. And then as you exhale, arms wide, bring them behind you. Bend your elbows, interlace your fingers first, and then use your inhale to send those knuckles down, open through your chest. Engage through your legs, squeeze the glutes. Engage through the thighs, draw the belly to spine. Breath in. And a breath out. One more. With your next inhale, reaching those arms up. And then as you exhale, lowering your arms down by your side and heel to toe back to, your feet back to more or less hip width. Back in your regular mountain pose at the top of the mat. Reach your arms up, inhale. As you exhale, bend in those knees, folding forward. Inhale to a halfway lift and exhale, fold. 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Maybe arm reaches forward. Exhale, fold. And then again, half lift. And maybe the other arm reaches forward by your ear. And exhale, fold. With your next inhale, regular chair pose. Bend those knees, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Pause, wiggle your toes. Soften the jaw. Soften the eyes. Maybe sit a little lower. Draw the belly towards your spine. As you inhale, push through those feet. Rise all the way up. Side stretch. Exhale. Inhale through center. And exhale, other side. Inhale, center. We're going into warrior 2. Left foot is going to step back. You're bending into your front knee. You've got heel to arch, more or less alignment. You're drawing belly to spine. And think about lengthening lower back here as if your tailbone was dropping towards the floor. Give a little lift to your toes, spread them out, and then soften them down. And then your arms are reaching forward and back. We're just going to straighten and bend into that front leg. So with your next inhale, push the floor away, straighten through that right thigh. And then as you exhale, bend into that right knee. And then again, straighten and bend. And straighten. And bend, and then stay with that front knee bent. With your next inhale, reverse warrior. Your front palm reaches up and back. Lengthen the right side of your torso. Breath in. Try not to compress the lower back. Breath out. With your next inhale, come back through warrior 2. And as you exhale, bring that right forearm to your thigh and bring your left arm by your ear. Breathing here. With your next inhale, rising up, straighten through that front leg and find triangle pose, hinge through the right hip, reaching forward first, and then lowering that hand to a block, to your shin, to your thigh. And again, think about drawing belly to spine and finding some space in that lower back. Breath in and a breath out. With your next inhale, rising all the way up, turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. So your feet are going to be parallel or slightly pigeon toe. Your hands are going to come to your hips. As you inhale, lengthen. And then on your exhale, hinge through the hips, forward and down as you fold. Release your hands to shins, to a block, to the floor. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale and fold forward. Allow the head to drop if that's comfortable. And then again, halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. And one more time, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale as you fold. With your next inhale, hands come to the hips, so bend in those knees and slowly stack one vertebra over the other as you rise all the way up. Turn your right toes towards the front of the mat, coming back into your warrior two stance, reaching your arms forward and back. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, lower your hands. See if you can frame that front foot. And we're going to stay here. Come onto the ball of the back foot. So you're coming into a lunge. And now your left hand stays on the mat. And see if you can bring your right hand to your right thigh. And then turn your torso towards the right, coming into a twisted lunge. So I'll just face forward. Might be a little clearer to see if you need to. Torso is turning towards the right. Right hand is on your right thigh. Back knee is lifted. You strong through your legs. You could stay here, or if your torso is turned and you can keep that twist, reach your right arm towards the ceiling. Breath in. Nice job. And a breath out. Keep pushing through the back heel. One more inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And now as you exhale, lower that right hand and then step your back foot back, your front foot back, and come into your downward facing dog. Let's take 3 cycles of breath. Soften through the face, through the jaw. Keep pushing the floor away with those arms. Keep lifting those sit bones and then dropping those heels. One more breath. With your next inhale, walk those feet to the hands, coming to the top of the mat, finding your forward fold as you exhale. Again, open up those feet, bring them shoulder width or wider towards the edges of the mat. Toes are still pointing forward, and then bend into those knees. Reach your arms forward, and again, that chair squat variation, working those thighs towards parallel, sending those sit bones back, reaching the crown of the head and those arms forward. Draw belly to spine. Breath in. Breath out. See if you can relax through those eyes, that jaw. One more inhale. And then use your next inhale to rise up strong through the legs. Press down to lift. And then as you exhale, left arm down by your side. Side stretch, belly to spine. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale through center. On your exhale, hands behind you, interlace them at your lower back. Open up through the chest. Try not to collapse into the lower back as you do this. So it's about the upper body, upper chest and upper back. Breath in and a breath out. And releasing those hands, reaching them tall. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lower those arms down by your side and heel to toe your feet back to hip width. Once again, standing in your regular mountain pose, shift your weight forward and back for a moment. Gather your breath. And then when you're ready, chair pose, bend into those knees, reach your arms by your ears. And then as you exhale, hands to your heart. Pause, breath in, and breath out. Maybe sit down a little lower, belly to spine. One more inhale. Exhale. And then push the floor away. Rise all the way up. Right arm down. Side stretch. Exhale. Back through center. Inhale. Other side. Exhale. Center. Inhale. And let's find warrior two on the other side. So right foot this time is going to step back. First, find your feet, your position with your legs, and then when you're ready, reach those arms forward and back. So first of all, we'll straighten and bend into that front knee. So think about not just pulling the knee back, but about pushing the floor away. So there's engagement through your glute, through your thigh, so you should feel it. And then when you're ready, again, push. And then keep pushing as you bend, so you add resistance. And then again, and push as you straighten. And then bend. And one more time, straighten. And bend. Finding those warrior two legs, front palm is going to lift up and back, reverse warrior. Again, try not to collapse into that lower back. Side body stretch. And then inhale back through center, warrior two, and then forearm to thigh, right arm all the way by your ear, side angle. That right side of the body gets a nice lengthening. Breath in and a breath out. With your next inhale, rising up, we'll straighten through that front leg and finding your triangle pose. If you need to shorten your stance some, do so. Hinging through that left hip, reach your fingers forward. And then when you can't reach any further, hand lowers, whatever it gets to. And the opposite arm can go in the opposite direction. Once again, belly draws in. We've got space in that lower back. Notice a theme here. I keep mentioning the lower back everywhere. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. And then as if you were being pulled through that top hand, rising up, turning your toes to the long edge of your mat, bringing your hands to your hips. Find length here through the spine. And then as you exhale, hinge forward and down as you fold. Always welcome a little bend in your knees. Release your hands, shins, block, floor, halfway lift. Exhale and fold, dropping the head, maybe looking under or through those legs. And then again, halfway lift on the inhale. Fold forward, exhale. And one more, just like that, breath in. And a breath out. And then a nice bend in those knees, hands transfer to your hips, chin to chest. Slowly stack one vertebra over the other as you rise up to stand. Turn your left toes towards the left or towards the top of your mat. And then find your warrior two. Once again, arms reaching forward and back. Breathe in. On your exhale, we're cartwheeling those hands to the mat, framing that front foot and coming into a lunge. You could also do a lizard lunge here if it's more comfortable. You could also have your hands on blocks. You're coming onto the ball of that back foot, that back heel is pushing back, the knee stays lifted, and then the right hand stays on the ground or on your block, and you're finding your left hand on your left thigh to find that twist towards the left. Strong through that back leg, squeeze through your right glute. Maybe you stay here, or maybe your left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Breath in and a breath out. And another breath in and out. And another inhale. And then as you exhale, left hand lowers and step that front foot back, downward facing dog. We'll meet there, 3 to 5 breaths. You're always welcome to do a child's pose if you prefer at any time, or some cows and cats in table. If you're in down dog, think about broadening through that upper back. So the position of your shoulder blades here is kind of interesting. You want them to kind of go out, left shoulder blade towards the left, right towards the right, but then you want them to slightly wrap towards your armpits. So see if you can find that and kind of tweak. It will give some space to the back of the neck. It might make your down dog a little more comfortable. Another inhale. Exhale. And then one more breath in. And then with your next exhale, let's all meet in a table pose, those knees under those hips and those hands under the shoulders. In your table pose, take a cow and a cat, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. As you exhale, round your spine, push the floor away, chin to chest. 2 more times, breath in and out and in and out. And then let's find a neutral spine, and with your next inhale, left leg is going to rise. As you exhale, draw that knee into your chest, rounding your spine. And then inhale, lengthen. Again, exhale, knee to chest, round. Inhale, lengthen. One more time, knee to chest, round. Inhale, lengthen, and now cross that left foot over to the right. And then bend into your left knee, bring your left knee behind the right knee, open up those feet a bit so the feet are going away from one another, and then send your sit bones towards your heels, so towards that space between your heels. And then we're going to go forward and back. So as you inhale, come back onto your knees, reach forward, exhale, hips back towards the floor between your feet, towards your feet. And then again, come forward, inhale, and moving back. And one more time, inhale, and back, exhale. Now as you inhale, come forward, returning to your table pose. You might give your left leg a little stretch out before, and then lowering that left knee back down. Switching sides, right leg is going to rise, inhale. And then as you exhale, knee to chest, rounding the spine, maybe even knee to nose. Again, lengthen out, inhale. Draw it in, exhale. And lengthen, inhale. And bring it in, exhale. Now as you inhale, lengthen. And cross that right foot over to the left side. Bend into your right knee. Right knee is behind the left. Maybe widen the space between your feet, and then shift your hips towards that space, towards your feet. And then coming forward, inhale, and then moving back, exhale. And forward, inhale, and back, exhale. One more time, breath in, and a breath out. Now with your next inhale, coming back onto those knees, unwind the legs, maybe right leg stretches out, and then lower back into your table pose. Once again, keep your knees and hips in line, walk your hands wide and forward, puppy pose. Send your sit bones up. Keep those sit bones in line with your knees. And again, you could make it a bit more passive, allowing your arms to rest towards the ground, your chest to drop, or you might lift onto your fingertips. See if you can bend all the joints in those fingers slightly so that you're not hyperextending them. So tented hands here. And your forearms and elbows might be lifted and you're still dropping the chest towards the floor. Breath in. And a breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. And then from here, walking those hands back towards you. Maybe halfway, so not all the way into a table pose, and then tucking those toes and coming into downward facing dog, lifting those sit bones, lifting those knees, taking a full breath in and taking a full breath out. So for lower back also, it's kind of nice to come in and out from plank. Down dog plank transition can be a nice one. So let's do a few of those and see if you can focus on kind of keeping that lower belly drawing in and finding some space in that back body as you come out into your plank. And don't come out into plank and drop your hips. So keep them slightly lifted. So a slight kind of bit of a rounded spine, even in your plank. All right, so with your next inhale, coming out, forward, shoulders over those wrists. And then as you exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. So notice that you'll use your feet quite a bit and your toes. So as you inhale, lift those heels, come onto the balls of the feet. Keep some rounding through that upper back as you bring those shoulders over your wrists. And then as you exhale, keep lifting up and back as you come into your downward facing dog. And one more time, just like that. Slow things down. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale. And moving back. Downward facing dog. Nice job. Breath in. And a breath out. And then from here, let's walk those hands towards the feet. So keep your feet where they are. And slowly, hands make their way back to the back of your mat. And we'll meet in a forward fold here. Find a nice bend in your knees. And then you can hold on to opposite elbows in front of your legs. Or sometimes if you bend your knees quite a bit, you'll be able to bring those arms behind your legs. Some of you might be able to keep your hands or your arms clasped behind your legs and straighten a bit more your legs. But see if you can keep your belly really close to your thighs, or as close as you can. Let the head hang, breathe in, and breathe out. And now I invite you to explore here a bit more active forward fold. And you can do both, right? So you can try the more passive, kind of just hanging, and then the more active. And now I'll tell you what to do to activate a bit more through those legs. So when you're ready to activate, engage through the outer hips and your glutes, and then think about pushing the outer part of your legs into your arms. So left leg is going into that left arm, and right leg is going into that right arm. And now pressing down through those feet, and notice that when you activate your legs, you might be able to go a little further, a bit deeper into that forward fold. Your torso might get a bit closer to your legs. Your belly might squeeze against your thighs a little bit more. Breath in and a breath out. One more inhale and exhale. If you had that active forward fold, now release. There's quite a bit of work. And then take another breath in and another breath out. And then we're going to rise up. So release those elbows, bring your hands to your hips, find a nice bend in your knees, chin to chest, and as slowly as you can, stacking one vertebra over the other, make your way up to stand. Head will be the last thing to lift, is the heaviest part. And then once you're there and your head lifts, allow your shoulders to move away from your ears and your arms to drop down by your side. And just take a moment. Feel whatever you feel in the body. Notice whatever you notice. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Coming onto the balls of the feet. Remember, breath and steady gaze will be super helpful. Steady mind and calm also. Okay. So depending on how you feel now on the balls of the feet, you might choose to little steps as you come to the top of the mat, or maybe knees lift a bit more as you step forward. See if you can stay on the balls of the feet. And we'll meet at the top of the mat. Once you get there, if you can stay on the balls of the feet for an extra breath, you could do that. Embrace the wobbles. Breath in And then if you're still on the balls of the feet, slowly lower those heels all the way down. That's quite an experiment. Reach your arms up, inhale. And then as you exhale, let's find a bend in those knees, folding forward. Halfway lift, inhale. And then on your exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, lower your knees to the mat. We're coming straight into a child's pose. Slide your knees wide, big toes to touch, and bring those sit bones towards the heels. Block a blanket between those legs or behind those knees. If those knees don't bend that much, might be a good idea. Your arms reaching in front of you if you want a bit more length through the spine. Maybe actively reaching those fingers away from you. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. And then let's find a side body stretch. So with your next inhale, walk your hands towards the left. And then see if you can stack your right hand over the left hand. And then push your right sit bone towards your right heel. And get a little extra stretch through the right side of your body, of your torso. Full breath in. And a full breath out. And then as you inhale, walk those hands back through center and then all the way over towards the right side. Maybe that left hand stacks over the right hand. That left sit bone pushes towards the left heel. And you get a bit of extra stretch through that left side. Emphasize that stretch with your breath in and with your breath out. And then bring those hands back through center. Pause here, exhale. Another breath in. And another breath out. And then with your next inhale, walk your hands in some. We're going to thread the needle, and you're welcome to do the thread the needle from a table pose or from like a hybrid table child's pose. So if you're doing like child's pose, well, even table, you want to bring your knees in, and then you want to bring your hand, left hand, it's going to come kind of out, but your torso is lifted. So enough space for that right arm to thread under the left. So with your next inhale, reach your right arm towards the ceiling, open up towards the right, and then as you exhale, thread that right arm under the left. See if you can bring your right shoulder to the ground, to the mat. Turn your gaze towards the left, and maybe the head rests on the ground. Maybe your left fingers walk forward, so you're not only getting that stretch through the right side of that upper back, but you might also be able to get a nice stretch through left armpit, maybe even down the left side of those ribs. Find a few cycles of breath. And before we unthread, just give a little exploration to pushing through that right arm. So the top of the right hand pushes down into the mat or into the ground. The same thing with the forearm, the upper arm, and the outer right shoulder. And then work your left hand back in. If you worked it out, open up again towards the right side with your right arm. And then send that right arm forward. Plant it and we'll switch sides. Left arm reaches out and up. And then as you exhale, thread that arm under the right. And find again here your thread the needle pose. So left shoulder towards the ground. Side of the head towards the ground. And again, ways of making it a bit more accessible, coming out a bit from your child's pose. So lifting your sit bones a little bit more will allow that left shoulder to come a bit closer to the ground. The head too. And then you might walk your right fingers forward, extending through that right side, right arm, right side of your torso. Finding that breath. And just like we did on the other side, explore giving a little push through that left arm against the floor. And notice how that feels. And then slowly walk that right hand back towards you, coming back up, maybe opening up towards the left, and then returning that left hand to the mat. Come up into a table pose, into cow, open up that chest, lift the gaze, and then find cat pose and come onto your fingertips. Maybe walk those fingers a bit closer to your knees, really round through that upper back and mid back, chin towards the chest. Pause here for 3 cycles of breath. Breath in, breath out. Notice that stretch back ribs, between the shoulder blades, around the shoulder blades. One more inhale and exhale. And then as you inhale, slowly come up to stand on your knees, move your feet to the side, and then with your arms reaching forward, see if you can flex through your hips as you lower your sit bones all the way down behind you. And then swing those feet forward. We're coming all the way onto our backs. Make sure you've got space behind you. Plant your feet. Knees are going to be bent. And then reach your arms in front of you as if somebody was slowly letting you down. Okay. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, coming down, begin to round through that lower back. Ground that lower back. Round through the mid back and ground it. Through upper back and ground it. And then lastly, head all the way down. And then once that back body is down, those knees come into the chest. And we'll do a little rocking from side to side. And then let's keep that right knee into the chest and let's plant that left foot on the ground. Give that right knee a squeeze. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, see if you can lift your forehead towards that right knee without straining too much through those shoulders or through that face or neck. Push that lower back into the mat. Draw the belly towards your spine. Breath in. Breath out. Gently release the head back down and then cross your right foot over your left thigh, figure 4. Left foot is still on the ground. And then send your right knee away from you. Just take a moment here. Breath in. Breath out. And then always welcome to stay or bring the whole structure in. So bringing that left thigh in towards you, that will bring that right leg in also. And then your hands, left hand could go behind your left thigh and your right hand could push your right knee away if you want a little extra sensation in that right hip. Make sure the knee is okay, so no pain in that knee. Keep that back body, lower back on the ground. And then release, right foot comes all the way down with the knee bent, and then just hug your left knee in towards your chest. So, So hands could go around the shin or behind that thigh. And then here, maybe lifting the forehead towards that left knee. But again, shoulders away from ears, ease in the face, lower backs pressing down. Breath in and breath out. Another inhale. And then gently lowering the head back to the ground and crossing that left foot over that right thigh, your figure 4 here. Pause with your feet, your right foot on the ground, and just using the strength in your left leg to send that left knee away from you. So quite a bit of work through that left hip. And keep your left foot flexed. And then maybe stay here or bring that whole figure 4 in towards you. Right hand could come around the right thigh, left hand could add that resistance. So you're pushing that left knee, left thigh away from you. And keep that lower back down, breathing in and breathing out. And then releasing that figure 4. Just bring both knees into your chest and find a happy baby. Knees towards armpits and towards the space next to your armpits. Maybe heels towards the glutes, or maybe those feet lift towards the ceiling. If they do, try to keep that lower back planted. That sacrum is still on the ground. Shoulder blades are still on the ground. Back body is really supported on your mat. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then releasing your happy baby, reaching your arms by your ears and overhead, and then lengthening your legs away from you. Give your body a whole stretch. See if you can walk your feet even further. See if you can walk your fingers even further back. Take a full breath in, tense everything. And then as you exhale, soften. And maybe find 2 more like that if it felt good. Really tense, squeeze. And then soften, exhale. And 1 more. Breath in, reach, tense, squeeze. And then soften, exhale. Finding Shavasana, these last moments of practice in stillness. So find the position that will work best for you. Maybe stay as you are, maybe shift your arms by your side or your hands on your belly. Maybe bend your knees, especially if the lower back is feeling a little sensitive. And then allow the breath to be now just a normal automatic breath. And as the physical body rests, notice what the mind wants to do. And then try not to resist it or make it do what you want or what you think you should. See if you can just step aside and watch. And if you've got the time, you want to, maybe you stay for a bit longer, feel free to do that. If you're ready to move, first tune into that breath. Notice the movement that will happen with that breath in and breath out. And then use that breath to inform some gentle movement back into your toes, into your fingers, maybe wrists and ankles. Maybe the chin draws from one shoulder to the other. And then you might bring those knees into your chest, and if you're on your back, you might then roll onto one side. Support your head with your arms, give yourself a little squeeze, a breath in, mouth open, exhale. And then use your hands to gently rise up. We'll meet in a comfortable seat. Hands can rest on your lap, at your heart. That spine is lifted. And let's take just a moment to first acknowledge the practice, then to acknowledge ourselves for practicing, to acknowledge those who have practiced with us, and to acknowledge those who have made it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.